Hey everybody, welcome to One More Round. Today I'm very excited. I was just introduced to our guest Derek Kennard over the phone a couple weeks ago by a mutual friend, a new friend for me, but you've known JD Hill for a long time.
Yes.
But Derek is very, very nice guy for him to call and come on the show like this and take time out of a Saturday. We're doing this on a Saturday, but played in the NFL for many years. A lot of you guys might know his name. Superbowl champion, if I'm not wrong.
Correct.
And so it's going to be a great conversation. We're going to talk about a lot more than just football. But thanks for coming on, man.
Hey, you're welcome, man.
Yeah. So how do you know JD, by the way?
JD has been a mentor of mine since I was a young kid back in Stockton, California. He was. At the time, I knew about him through our head coach at my high school, and I used to go visit the high school because I was intrigued by all the guys at the high school. At the time, I was an elementary kid, just out, just sniffing around what was going on, and I was reading about some of these guys that I could go see in person, and so I would go and see about these guys, and the coach used to always talk about JD, and he was over at ASU, and now he's a Buffalo Bill. I said, really? From here, really? And yeah, we got a guy out there playing, and he's doing well. And he says, maybe it'll be you one day. And I said, get out of here, coach. And as a kid, my high school head coach mentored me into going to play Pop Warner football. Mm-hmm. So I did. And I said, hey, coach, you might have to come tell my mom because she don't want me to play. He says, don't want you to play? Why? I said, well, a few years back, my dad died, and mom's just doing the best she can. So, she's doing some teacher's aid stuff at the school. She's just trying to get us by, and we're just barely making it, man. So he's like, yeah, I get it. He said, okay, I'll come by and talk to your mom. Mm. And so I didn't know, I was totally blindsided by the high school head coach trying to talk me into playing Pop Warner football, because he was going to recruit me from Pop Warner football into high school football.
Sure.
And the chain of linking people together goes on. Anyway, coach ended up roping me into it, and I wound up playing and had a really good couple of good seasons, and finally made it to high school. And he wound up being my high school head coach, but back then, as a kid trying to get into Pop Warner, all these kids in my neighborhood was walking around with these JD Hill football shirts. Mm-hmm. And I said, where you guys get those shirts at? He says, you didn't come, our kids are, you didn't get one, I said, oh my God, where you guys get those? Yeah. And you didn't come to the camp. You gotta come. Next year, you gotta come. I said, oh, I love those shirts. Those look awesome. So the next year I came and met JD, and JD called me out of the crowd. And JD is, he called me out of the crowd, and he, get over here. And I said, hey, what's going on? Nothing. Just want to introduce you to the crowd, like just a scared little kid. And he had all these pro ball players that was with him. He had Raymond Chester was the tight end for the 49ers, and I'm like, hey man, I see him on TV every week. Wow, that's Raymond Chester. And then the other guy was Al Bubba Baker. Al Bubba Baker was drafted in the first round to Detroit Lions, and he was there. I'm like, wow. I was, as a kid, the whole thing just wowed me, and he called me out to embarrass me in front of all the other kids, and I didn't mind getting up, and I guess I was doing too much chitter chatter in the back, and I was trying to get the attention of the crowd. Anyway, JD made me run a lap of 400. JD's this former track star back in high school, so him. He's not going to ask you to do something that he can't do. So he would always say that, and then he'll make you do it. And so I would go out there, and he said, "Give me a lap." I'm like, "What? The hardest you can? Give me a lap?" You're kidding me? I'm like, oh man. So mind you, there's somewhere between 300-400 kids sitting in these stands, and he's. To further my embarrassment of calling me out, I had to go run a lap, and I made it around. And you didn't have to worry about me talking while he was talking no more.
That's right. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned, brother. Yeah.
That's awesome. So that's how you met him, and you guys obviously have stayed in contact for many years.
Yeah.
But you went and played high school for the guy who got you into Pop Warner. And then, did you know you were good? Like, was it something, because obviously you went to the NFL. Did you know you had the talent?
Yeah, I kind of, well, yes. The answer is yes. I did win flag football. Guys would cheat, and it just frustrated me when guys cheat. When I say cheat, you pull on a flag, it's supposed to come off.
Right.
And I grew up in the rough part of town where these guys just didn't use the Velcro.
They sewed it on?
No, they had a knot tied on it. You can't pull it.
Yeah.
So I go to pull the running back's flag, and I couldn't get it off. And the ref would never call them down because I couldn't pull. So I had this thing where if I can't pull it off, I'm taking you downtown. Taking them downtown means I'm tackling you.
Yeah.
I'm taking you downtown. Anyway, I couldn't pull it, so I would just tackle them every time. And the refs and the coach would pull me aside and say, "Hey, man, you can't tackle, bro. These parents out here going crazy. You can't tackle. Stop it." I'm like, dude, these guys don't play fair. Look at their flags.
Yeah.
And they're tied on. And he said, "Oh, I'll get that straightened out." The ref get it straightened out, and a few series later, they're back tied on again. Anyway, the process kept repeating itself, and the next time he says, "You tackle one more time, you're done. You're not playing Pop Warner ever again." So I caught this guy, and I pulled this flag, and it was tied on again. So I took him downtown. I took him downtown, and then it gave him a little extra by driving him into the ground a little bit, and kind of hurt the kid and the parents. Everybody's going crazy, and the opposing coach is going crazy. Like, you guys should stop cheating. And I couldn't get the official on our side because this team was pretty good, and they were beating everybody every year, and this is the year it was going to stop.
Yeah.
We're going to win this year, and we were winning, and these guys were always tying tying up their flags. And so, anyway, I got kicked out. That was my last. I had no more warnings.
Mm-hmm.
I took that guy downtown, and they said, "You're done."
Yeah.
And they kicked me out, man. I'm just a little young kid just trying to have some fun.
Yeah, good, man. Nobody likes to be cheated, especially when you're out there as a kid, trying to play a sport.
Yeah.
And, it feels good to win. It really feels lousy to lose. And,
Oh, man, I didn't like the taste in my mouth of losing.
No, it
Didn't
sucks.
like that part.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, it was tough, man. That was tough. But I got kicked off the team, and I met Coach, and that turned it around to introduce me to tackle football, and then that turned into having him come over to the house and convincing my mother to allow me to play. So that's how that turned out.
Now, what position were you playing in high school?
High school, I was playing in high school. Geez, high school I played tackle, and I was left tackle and also D tackle.
I played left tackle. Yeah, I loved it. I loved that position.
I didn't know that was the premier spot for the big guys.
Mm-hmm.
As to the number one spot, and everybody wants that spot, but not everybody can play that spot.
You got to be fast, agile, and big and strong.
Mobile, agile, and hostile.
That's even better said. Yes, exactly. I wasn't a huge lineman. I was only 190 pounds, but they put me at left tackle because I was also in the martial arts, and I had been doing that for a long time.
Nice.
So I knew how to manipulate body weight really well, better than anybody else on our line. So I played for Chandler High way back when.
Nice.
And, it's a fun position, man. I didn't like it because I don't get to touch the ball. I didn't start playing until I was a sophomore in high school, and then all of a sudden I'm like, this is fun. I always got usually the best guy going up against me, plus the linebackers. Getting to knock a linebacker that's not looking was just my favorite. Cutting right through there.
Yeah.
But so you played tackle in high school, and that's what you played for a lot of your years in the NFL, right? So tell me about, obviously you played high school. Where'd you go to college at?
University of Nevada at Reno. University of Nevada is, first of all, let me back up. In high school, I was a blue chip All-American out of Stockton, Edison High School in Stockton. When I say that, that means you're one of the top guys in the country that's sought after, and I had an opportunity to play at University of Arizona. Coach Cush wanted me here, and the week, I think it was the week that Coach got into it with one of the kids on the sideline. I don't know if it was the week. It was the year that he did that thing on the sideline with pulling the kid's face mask, and he jerked that kid around pretty bad. And my mom says, I don't think you're going to like that too much when down there in ASU. I said, Mom, that's gonna be fine. He said, no, you got a little hot headed, and you might go after Coach. And I said, yeah, you got a point, Mom. So, geez, man, Coach Cush gave me so much grief after my whole career was over with. He said, man, you never took the trip. I was recruiting you. I wanted you bad at ASU. You never came. And you went down south. And you wanted to go down south so bad. You went down there, and then they took your scholarship away. I mean, so before the letter of intent day, the coach got fired, and the new coach said, we're not offering. We're taking the offer off the table. And I'm like, so I'm 100% going in with you guys at U of A. It's a done deal. And he's like, no, you better go find another school. So oh my God. So that situation dried up. So I took a trip to Nebraska. Coach Osborne says, you're not going to play here until your redshirt freshman year, your redshirt year, 5th year. That's when you would play, because at the time they were stacked. Mm-hmm. They had Irving Fryer. They had and they had all the All-American offensive linemen. And they were all young freshmen. Me coming in as a freshman, and they were going to be a sophomore. They still had another 3 years left. So you're gonna ride some pine, buddy. I know you're not used to it. That's Coach Osborne. This might not be for me, man. And I came out of off the plane, and there was snow above my head too. Mm-hmm. I'm from California. Yeah, I'm from Northern Cal, and I'm kind of cool with this with the snow going to Reno, and so I got a call from Coach Alt to. He knew my high school sweetheart was in town, and I wanted to be close to home, so my parents and my brothers and sisters come to the ball games, and it was a good fit. And it was just that it was it wasn't 1A, it was 1AA, 1-2A at the time, and we was in the Big Sky Conference. So I took a trip there and wound up signing. Frank Hawkins, then he was the starting running back. He wound up going to the NFL to play with the Raiders, and he wound up taking me on my recruiting trip, and I blocked for him for 1 season, and then he took off to the Raiders. But anyway, that's how I ended up in University of Nevada, man. They shut down my deal, my letter of intent down here at U of A. Mm-hmm. I did not make the trip to BYU. I was on my way to BYU. I just had this epiphany deal at the San Francisco airport. I was going to Provo, Utah. I was going up there to BYU for a trip. Now, at the time, I didn't know Steve Young was there.
I was just going to ask. That's about Steve Young years, right?
I didn't know Steve was there. And then I didn't find out till after I was done with college because we wound up together anyway with the LA Express. Anyway, he was there, and he was going to be my guy to take me around and introduce me to his grandpas and everybody that he got the Young name, and Brigham Young is his great great granddaddy's school. And he says, man,
I never knew that actually. I knew I knew he played for it, but I didn't know he was like lineage.
Yeah, he's lineage, man. This guy is special. Anyway, I met him later on. Our paths crossed in, I think in '84 when I got to the USFL with the LA Express, and that's when I met him. And I met him out there with Sid Gilman. Sid Gilman was out there when I got to the LA Express, and Steve Young was out there throwing the ball around to some guys, and I get there, and Sid Gilman says, "Get your butt over here now." Who is this old little guy? Sid Gilman's like legendary, and when he speaks, everybody moves. So who is that guy right there? He said, "Man, whatever you do everything he says, and you're golden. I said, okay. And I came over there to see Sid. Sid says, get your butt in the locker room and get some shorts on and some cleats. I want you to run a 40 for me. I'm like, 40 right now? He's like, yeah, right now. And if you don't bust a 4.8 or better, you're going right back home on that bus right there.
I mean,
so
had you stretched or anything yet?
No.
Oh, okay, all right.
But I just left the combine. What was it? The combine. I ran a 4.85, but I pulled up 10 yards short because I pulled a hammy. I still ran that 4.85, but at the pro day I ran a 4.7. And I get out there, and I run a 4.8, and Sid says, "Wow, we're going to keep you." I said, "Oh, really?" He said, "You see those other guys? That's loading the bus. They're going home." I said, "Oh my God!"
Wow, you're serious.
That's my introduction to Sid Gilman. Oh my God, the legendary Sid Gilman, man. From that point on, me and him were really cool, until we get into the team film room of, everybody getting their assignments. And, that guy, he had a broken finger that he always pointing at you, man. He's funny. I miss the guy. Yeah. Good dude, good man.
Sounds like someone very impressionable.
Very much so.
So you told me earlier before we started that you got drafted in UCFL,
USFL, yeah,
and
United States Football League.
And so a lot of people may not be familiar with the USFL because this was basically the early '80s, right? That was going on.
Right. It was, so the USFL started in, I believe it was 81, 82, summer of 81, 82. They were trying to compete with the NFL having the monopoly of professional football. And there's these ton of guys that just never make it into the league that needed and wanted opportunities to play. And and some of these guys that weren't playing, they were awful good. They were really good. So they needed a venue or a place like baseball has a minor league,
right.
and they develop guys and they nurture them along and teach them some skills, and they go out and play. But so now as we fast forward, we have a USFL with the XL going on. So they combined the USFL, UFL, and the XFL as one. Mm-hmm. And this year I think, did they play this year? They didn't play this year, did they?
No, they played last year. This is Dwayne Johnson, or The Rock was the kind of the voice of it, right?
Right. Yeah. And I didn't see it this summer, so I don't. It may have gone away, and I haven't heard or seen any news feeds about it. Anyway, or anywho, as they say in television, I don't know what happened with the league now, but I do know that they combined forces, and it was supposed to make them stronger, and I'm not sure if it was sustainable. Mm-hmm. And once again, I believe it may have folded. And anyway, it was a good outlet to compete with the big dog, the NFL. the big machine.
Yeah, but they were Goliath. I mean,
Right.
back then.
Even
They're
now.
still no. I shouldn't say back then. They are Goliath. End of statement.
Period.
Yeah. So everybody that's ever tried to compete with them. But so USFL though, that's like where you were at. But you were telling me, like it was better for some certain reasons, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What were the reasons? Like someone like yourself who could have gone both ways. Why did you go to USFL to start with?
Well, it was simply the NFL had monopolized the wages of current players or incoming players, and most of us that were coming out was thinking of there's got to be a time of change to change how they do things with the money, and it's time for guys to get higher wages. Let's get this thing started, and so the USFL offered an opportunity for all us guys coming out, instead of going to the NFL, go to the USFL, and have an opportunity to play for higher pay. I'm all for that, and so just to give you a good barometer of how things were, a second rounder like myself was getting at the time a $10,000 signing bonus and a $20,000 salary for the year, and then for a family that would that's 30 grand for the year, and weighing things out and looking how we can make things happen as far as myself and my wife and my newborn son, and we figured out and said, geez, you got to make at least 35 just for us to survive. So you or I got to go back out there and work some more to make ends meet. So we figured that out and said, okay, the USFL is offering more money. So if I don't go to the NFL, what are the repercussions? Will they allow me to come back to the NFL? And is it worth it going to the NFL afterwards? And it's just, so you guys are gonna have to create change. It's not gonna happen unless you guys create change. Anyway, myself and we didn't collaborate or do anything. We just saw the numbers. The numbers was that for a guy like myself coming out in the second round, you were going to make a $10,000 bonus with $20,000 salary. Even back then, that was a lot of money to go to the NFL. But over here in the USFL, they were offering a $1.5 million contract with a $500,000 signing bonus.
What?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's not even you don't even have to think about that for
No,
very long.
Not at all. I'm not a mathematician, but I tell you.
That's 50 times the money.
Yeah.
And the signing bonus.
Come on. It was apples and oranges, baby. Let's go. So it wasn't nothing to figure out.
Right. Yeah.
I went and we got the contract done with the owner was Goldman, and then Goldman was the owner, and then the other guy was I can't. My memory, not like it used to be. Gosh, I'm trying to remember the general manager. Anyway, we we got the contract done, and my agent got it done, and we were good, and I went to USFL.
Yeah.
Stayed there 2 years until the league folded. Let's see, that was 84, 85, 86, summer of 86. They folded.
So, before we go on to the NFL, I got to ask you a question. I can only imagine. I mean, this is 1983, I guess, 1983, 1984. You get a contract for $1.5 million, $500,000 signing bonus. So, take away whatever the agent gets. How you feeling getting that kind of money? Because that money was kind of unheard of. That's a first rounder,
right?
Maybe even in their second contract
right.
type of money back then.
Right.
So how you feeling making that kind of money? Probably not coming from that kind of money, I would imagine.
No. I'm coming from a very poor background, myself and my wife, and I just remembered I fudged on the Senior Bowl because that was on my wedding day. Mm-hmm. I didn't make it. I couldn't make it to the Senior Bowl to Mobile, Alabama, and I'm watching these guys on TV, and my team won. So, $10,000 if you win, $5,000 if you lose.
Okay.
Back then, I think it's more now, but West won, and that just dagger to the heart. Oh, what? I'm supposed to be there. Yeah. Anyway, that it turned out to be a good deal going there. Oh, by the way, you mentioned your athletic skills of
martial arts.
Mm-hmm. I was a brown belt in Taekwondo.
Oh, awesome.
Under the late, great Mr. Mac.
Okay.
Mac Newton.
That's awesome. Yeah, mine was Shaolin Kempo. It was a black belt with Shaolin Kempo of the United Studios of Self-Defense, which didn't start actually too far from Stockton. It actually started in, what was it, Irvine, California. Yep. And that's where Master Matera started it years and years ago. But yeah, it's great. I think it's one of the best things that somebody can do to learn discipline. Like, I didn't do it to learn to beat up people, but I certainly.
Neither did I. I was doing it. I started in it with just the sheer flexibility.
100%. Yep. And then the footwork,
yeah.
The balance,
and the flexibility. I needed that.
Yeah, for sure.
That flexibility.
I used to be able to kick the top of the door.
Yeah.
I think I'd pull a hammy if I tried it right now, but.
That's funny. That's doable.
Yeah.
That's doable. Yeah, I have to go from transition from the brown belt to the black belt. They paired me with this young lady that small in stature, but she
how to use every bit of it, huh?
She's very skilled and talented, and she could take you downtown.
Yeah.
There's that word again. Here we go. I forget her name. This lady that I'm sparring with for the black belt, and I'm thinking I got it in the bag, baby. Yeah. This is the humility of Taekwondo. Is I thought I had this in the bag, man. And my first 2 rounds, I had it locked in, and I got a little risque, and she took me downtown and just delivered the kill shot, and that was it for me.
Man.
But a really good lesson in that sequence right there was little humility, and that's what the martial arts is all about.
Absolutely. Somebody always knows more.
You got
Always knows more.
Yeah, and so she went into this some of this Tai Chi mode and found some inner strength, and she focused her concentration on my aggression.
Yeah.
And so all of my physical moves that I learned in Taekwondo, I came at her with it, and she knew I had this one go-to move that was getting me through all those different belts.
She was ready to counter, wasn't she? She was ready to counter.
She was already ready.
Yep.
She was already ready.
Yep.
And she has been studying me throughout all of our sparring months and years prior, and so she's been watching me and then checking me out through the whole all the time I was there.
Yep.
She was checking me out. She knew her and I was going to meet, and for me to cross that line to get the black belt, and I never got it, but she shut me down, man. She shut me down.
Yeah.
The littlest thing in the building.
Yeah. Tumbling. One of my
That's a lesson, man.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And so one of my good friends, Roland Soria, so he used to have Rage in the Cage out here, and he's got Rage in the Ring now. But anyway, he's 61. You would have no idea. He looks super young, but he trained with Hickson Gracie.
Well, I'm 62, man. What are you talking about,
Young.
man?
You guys are young, right? But
okay.
No, so he trained with Hickson Gracie back in California. In fact, it's funny because he was a nose guard, and I think he played right around Stockton, and it would have been the same kind of years. But he was an All-American, but he was a tiny guy for that position.
What's his name?
Roland Soria. So anyway, Roland, you wouldn't know it because he doesn't look like he could take you down. But I ran into some folks that were some friends of his that owned the largest security company in Arizona. I'm talking to Corey, and he's like, "Oh, you know Roland?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's one of my great friends." He's like, "Have you ever, done jiu-jitsu with him?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm a Shaolin Kempo guy. Those guys, they have a whole nother skill set.
Right.
Whole nother skill set."
Right.
He's like, "Oh no, he's a bad man." And Corey's probably 250,
right.
all muscle,
right.
5'10". He's like, "I've never even come close to submitting the guy. He takes us out. He'd take each one of us out. Him, his partner Dave, and all this stuff." And I'm like, "Roland?" He's like, "Roland, 160 pounds, just pure technique." And that's the thing. You can never, those guys are amazing, if they study the art. And so, but anyway, back to kind of what we were talking about. Never underestimate people, right? Like, never underestimate people, and have humility, understanding that, hey, there's always somebody who knows more. It's what my karate instructor, Kevin Kinsey, always told me. He's like, "Hey, what do you do if somebody comes up to you with a knife?" And a lot of people are like, "Oh, I just do this." And that. No, you run. You go the other way if you can. That is the smart move.
Yeah.
What do you do if you...
Correct.
Yeah, there's usually very, very little reason to fight. And if you have to, great. You have the skill sets. But there's zero reason usually to actually go through with fighting. You're going to get hurt. You're going to hurt somebody. Nothing good happens as an adult fighting. But, hey, the skill set you learn, the discipline you learn, that's what I gained, from it. But, okay, so USFL, they ended up closing shop. You go to the NFL. Was there any issue with that since, you went to the other league and coming to the NFL? How was that perceived?
Okay, while I was transferring over from USFL to the NFL, there was some animosity with both players, administration, as well as coaches. Because for 2 years, we shunned the NFL, which is the big dog, and we shunned them and went to the other league and was paid handsomely. for doing so. And by crossing back over, all that money that we were making, we're bringing that with us, that we're demanding, all of us that came over, we're demanding to be paid what we were paid back there.
How'd that go over?
Not too well.
Yeah.
So the NFL says, okay, we're going to bump you guys up more, but you're not going to be making that $1.5 million deal that you had. We're going to humble you with your base salary is going to be $250. Well, it sounds a whole lot better than the $20,000 you were going to give me when I first was coming over here.
We 10x what we were talking about before.
Right. So they bumped it up, and your second year will be a 4.5, and your third another 750, and then your last year of the contract you'll make $1 million. I'm like, wow, okay, this sound like a winner chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Of course, my agent had a lot more to negotiate to. At the time, the agents were negotiating playing time. If he plays 75% of the plays, you get bonuses. And they're saying, he's not going to see action until his third or fourth year here. So he's okay. We'll give him some bonuses. So they had some really nice bonuses in there to play 75, 85, 95% of the plays, and so those bonuses don't kick in until late November, early December.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you accumulate the time and the plays you played. So for us linemen, receivers, quarterbacks, and all those guys get and running backs, they get different type of incentives late in the season. Anyway, as we're approaching the end of the season, I've been starting and playing the entire season because the guy that's supposed to be starting in front of me was a holdout in the training camp, and he blew out his Achilles end of the last season, and while trying to re-enter training after training camp, he re-entered back playing after his highly paid contract was negotiated. He came back out there and blew his other one, Achilles.
The worst.
And and so that's a season gone. So don't have to worry about him coming back this season. So the incentives are all in the bag. And they thought I would never live up to those incentives because this guy that was holding out I call him, he's out of Texas, Doug Dawson. I think he's an attorney now. So, yeah. Doug Dawson lives in Houston, Texas. Anyway, Dougie Fresh is hurt. I had to play. And that was a brutal training camp, my first year there, and all the resentment of the front office, the coaches, as well as some of the players, a lot of resentment. But I said, dang, this guy can play. And they said, we don't even have to give him water. Jeez, because they didn't. Coach Stallings didn't believe in giving us water breaks, until we had a bunch of guys, almost half the team is broke down in cramps.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know if you've experienced a cramp before, but
I sure have.
Hours or days after that cramp, the muscle soreness from those cramps
Yep.
are pretty intense, and it hurts. Now a lot of guys are hurt from the muscle cramps, and they need time to recover. So this particular summer, the camp we had camp in Western Illinois, right across the.
Was this with the St. Louis Cardinals?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, St. Louis Cardinals. We were Western Illinois University, and 20 cows died this particular day at training camp. 20 cows just died this morning. And it was on the news as we're getting up, brushing our teeth, getting ready to go out to training camp. And I'm looking at the TV's on. I'm like, whoa, you gotta be kidding me. And so the guy in front of me it was a holdout. The other two guys that was backing me up at training camp, they're hurt. They're in the tub. I can't look to nobody. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if you guys understand. Coach Gene Stallings believe in long practices, 3.5-hour practices. And after we're done with this 3.5-hour practice, everybody in the back of the end zone. You know what that is, 110s, baby. And by the way, we don't have a set number. We're just going to swallow the whistle. Every time I breathe, I'm blowing the whistle. You blowing the whistle. You blowing the whistle, bro. You going. Man, this guy's got us out there running, man, like crazy. So we just been, by the way, at the time, I think, we were in NFC East, yeah. Anyway, those 3.5-hour practices was just brutal.
Yeah.
In that heat and humidity of Western Illinois, and then we had all those cows that just died. Bro,
yeah.
Can I get a water break?
Right.
Can I just get a water break one time? No. You're done. Get out there.
Jeez.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Bro. I spent a lot of evenings cramped up in my room trying to recover to rinse and repeat go back the next day.
Jeez.
And don't look to the sideline because nobody's coming.
Right. Yeah.
Nobody's coming, bro.
Just you. Gosh, dang. So were you a pretty good team, the Cardinals back then?
Yeah, we had a really good team, man. We had Louis Sharp at left tackle. I was at guard. We had Lance Smith at right guard, Tootie Ramos at right tackle. At center, right, we had, I forget who the center was at the time. And, we were pretty good. Stump Mitchell was our running back. Visa Kahima was our kick returner. Oh, and by the way, I made the all USFL team on kickoff return because I was in the wedge. And so when I crossed over and came to NFL, I could never get off the kickoff return team because of my past haunted me.
Yeah.
Because I was back then we were doing bounties. It's illegal to do bounties now. We do bounties for you KO on a guy. You got you got bonuses for KOing the guy. So I was just a heat-seeking missile coming after dudes and taking them downtown, baby.
If you're listening to this and you've never been part of a kickoff team, you don't understand. But you're running full force at each other, and honestly, you got more chance of getting injured in a kickoff than any other play.
Absolutely.
Other than a receiver coming across, the field catching a ball and getting blindsided. But
look into the camera. It's outlawed now. They outlawed the wedge. They don't even have a wedge anymore.
Yeah.
There you have it.
That's right. That's why Sean Payton was suspended. He did it after it was outlawed.
Oh, my Lord.
So you played at Arizona, and then eventually you went to Dallas. Is that your Super Bowl ring, or is that another type of ring?
This is a different ring. This is my college Legacy Hall ring.
It's nice.
I made the Legacy Hall a while back, and
wow,
that is
that's cool.
All the University of Nevada greats have one of these, and they consider me one of the all-time greats to wear at University of Nevada. So they put me in the Ring of Honor of Legacy Hall there, and myself, Charles Mann, Tony Zendejas, Frank Hawkins, and recently into the Legacy Hall is Kaepernick.
Oh, okay.
He went to University of Nevada, and yeah, that guy. Yeah, he had a little controversy there, but hey,
Hey, he was an athlete.
the guy can play. The
Yeah.
guy can play. I like his the way he's able to run. Just similar to Steve Young. A lot of guys don't know that Steve Young ran a 4.3 flat right out of Brigham Young. Guy could just flat out fly.
Yeah.
That's if he wanted to, but he
was more of a pocket passer, though.
But he had a rocket for an
Yeah,
arm. The guy had a rocket, man. He just get the ball downfield.
Yeah.
His safety valve, Hudson Hawk, that came out with him, got hurt early in the season, and that was a big loss.
Yeah.
That was a big loss. He's like a Jay Novacek type guy that always bailed Steve out, and he always could check down to him as a pacifier.
Yeah.
Give him his binky.
Yeah.
Hudson Hall. Anyway, man, that's just flashes of my memory right there, man. There was some really good dudes right there, man.
That's awesome. Well,
yeah.
So what was it like when you went to Dallas? Because I just watched, to preface this, I just watched the Jerry Jones Netflix, Jerry's World.
Oh, my God.
I watched the whole thing. And by the way, if you haven't watched that, it is fascinating. And it was so funny because it had just come on Netflix, and I watched it, and you and I had already talked, and you were already coming on, and I'm like, well, I'm going to watch this. Maybe I'll get to kind of know a little bit more. I will tell you, I got a new respect for Jerry Jones. I hate to say that because I used to think he was a really bad guy, and there's probably a lot of people that think he still is. You might think he still is. But it was interesting. So anyway, you go to Dallas. They had just won 2 Super Bowls, I believe, right before you got there. What was it like going into that environment? Coach getting kicked off the team. You got, you go from, what's the coach's name that got kicked off? The announcer.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Jimmy Johnson.
That's right, Jimmy Johnson. And then you got, and I had no idea, actually, Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson played together as Razorbacks. And then their coach was Schweishert?
Yep.
So tell me about your experience there. How was it coming into that whole environment compared to the Cardinals?
Well, you know, I had a stop in New Orleans when they traded me. They traded me for a cornerback. There was 3 guys involved with my trade. It was 3 starters from the Saints came over, and one guy didn't even make it off the plane. They had him go right back on the plane and sent him back. And so the tight end stayed, and so did Robert Massey was involved in my trade, and they got me. And they got a couple of draft picks. They got a lot out of me. So my question to Joe Bugle, who was the interim coach at the time, I said, "Why are you trading me, man? I got 3 kids, a wife, a home here. I made a good life for myself here. What are you doing?" He says, "Hey, to get a good guy, we gotta trade a good guy. And you're one of my good guys, but we gotta trade you, man." And I hated to do it, but we need to get this done, and we're getting a lot for this trade. We got some draft picks. We got 3 starters coming over, and we got a couple of good draft picks for you as well. So. But on the other, for your sake, you're going to a playoff team. Coach Jim Moore is a good guy, and you got a good GM down there that's going to make sure that you're paid well. Okay. And I leave his office and go back down, and I'm trying to grab a few things out of my locker so I can get. They got me leaving out on the next plane out, flight out to New Orleans, cause this is a Tuesday, and it's the last preseason game that's coming up, and New Orleans is playing Miami in Miami on. I think it's Friday night. It's a primetime game. Anyway, I get to New Orleans, and one of the coaches picked me up, and they give me a book, my playbook, and they threw it at me in the back seat and says, "Know it by tomorrow." And you got, so tomorrow when you come in, I said, "Well, I thought we off tomorrow." He said, "We are, but you got to come in because you're starting Friday Night Live in Miami." South Beach? He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, he said, don't worry about the beach. You ain't going to see the beach." I said, "Oh, man." I said, "Oh, man, I ain't never been to mine. Never been to South Beach. Come on, baby." Anyway, coach says, "No, man, don't worry about that. You finna cram, man. We finna get you tightened up and get you ready to play." And he said, "You got to know all this before we get you out on the field. We're doing a walkthrough practice Thursday, and Thursday afternoon we're flying out to South Beach, and then we're playing Friday night. So you gotta get ready." So, "Oh my God!" I said, "There's some cramming, bro. What?" He said, "Hey, don't worry, we'll have you prepared. You'll be prepared." So I said, "Okay." So I hunkered down in the room, got some room service, and just started studying the playbook. And then at practice, it wasn't really practice, because Coach Moore come from the same school of Knox that Coach Gene Stallings came from.
3.5 hour practices.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So it got crazy fast. Those 3.5-hour practices and everybody at the back of the end zone.
Yeah.
You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
110s, baby. We finna run, and the coach gonna swallow the whistle. Forget about it. Just keep running. Anyway, yeah, man, those some crazy times, man. But I end up playing that game and did really, really well and graded very, very high, and they started me, and I played all the way through the third quarter, and they finally gave me a hat and welcomed me to the starting lineup in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the last preseason game, and they give me my hat at the fourth quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they put some other guys in there. Mm-hmm. And we had a similar situation that I had with the Cardinals. Everybody was down for a different reason. The left tackle was a guy that does a lot of cutting, and while targeting the cutting of another guy from the opposing team, he would cut a teammate.
Right.
For the camera, cutting is a technique that we do to D linemen, not to our own guys. I had to say that.
Yeah.
This guy was cutting guys on his own team, and he had a technique that was a flip roll type of technique that he would flip and roll, and he would get the guy, but he would wound up hurting his teammates. So, do you understand combo blocking?
I might have you describe it, but I don't think I've ever heard the phrase.
So combo blocking is say for instance, I'm at left guard and the left tackle is right here, and I have a guy in front of me that's in a 3 technique. He's shading the gap, and he's shading my outside shoulder, and there's a middle linebacker standing over the center, and then there's another backer standing over the left tackle, and then the left tackle has a guy outside of him. But we're going to combo block up to that backside backer.
Right.
Because the play is going to the right outside. Anyway, we got a combo block to go up. That was a little something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're combo blocking up, and as I'm combo blocking up, this guy would do a cut, and then he whirly-wind his feet into a flip heads over heels type of deal, like a hedgehog type deal. It's weird, but he would do this cut block, and he'll cut, and then he'll roll up, but he would get his own guy. So I watched film on how he did this. I'm not going to call his name. This guy wound up being a really good player, but he injured a lot of guys on his own team, and that's how I ended up in New Orleans. And anyway, they had 4 left guards on the sideline in crutches when I got there.
So you're in. Nobody on the sideline.
So yeah. Same old story. Lord Jesus, please help me.
I need
Tap me out. Anyway, man. It was tough, but I learned how to high knee action up out of So I gotta keep my pad level down because I gotta get up underneath this guy and get to the second level to hit the backer. And I'm at practice. I'm practicing up against my backside backer. It could be Vaughn Johnson or Sam Mills. Both of them are deceased now, but both of them would knock the Cowboy snot out of you, even at practice. So these guys are on my team, and we're just talking about practice. Anyway, I'm trying to escape this block so I can get up to the second level. And as I get up to the second level, I got to high knee it out of there because this guy is coming after my knees.
Twirling at you, yeah.
And he's, whirly-bird. And I get out of there, and now I got to get my pad levels back down.
Right.
Because I got this beast of a man
who's locked and loaded.
He's at really good pad level. They got very good technique, and and both of them they're in the 500-pound club as far as benching and stuff. Ooh. I walk into the weight room, they're playing with 5 1/4, they double bouncing it off the chest. I eat these for snacks. Yeah. Like, are you kidding me?
Jeez.
They're linebackers. Anyway, I go into these guys and I got this high knee action going and I escape and I'm all happy. Now I got to get down because these dudes is coming hard, bro. I get down and they found out I hit hard too. Like, oh my God, what the heck is going on? Yeah, it's crazy, man. Though that was really hard trying to get high knee action while trying to get back down low, because I got these super hybrid linebackers coming at me hard, and this is at practice.
Yeah.
Practice, and there's nobody coming.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody over there to help me to get a break, bro. Because ain't nobody there. Because this guy that I'm playing next to, he's everybody's on the sideline in crutches.
Oh man. So
I'm not trying to be one of those.
No, absolutely not. Well, you can't. And even if you were there, like, you're still going back in.
Right.
Derek.
Yeah.
Get in there. You're fine.
Right.
So you were at New Orleans for a year. And
no, I spent 3 seasons.
Three seasons. You were okay. So you were
3
seasons with the Cardinals, 3 seasons with
5 with the Cardinals, 3 with the Saints, 3 with the Boys.
Oh, that's 11 years. Wow. So, and I know I don't know how much time you have, but I wanted to at least hear what it was like playing in Dallas for you, because it was towards the end of your career, right?
Yes. Dallas was fantastic. Some of the things that fans, people, the interworkings of a ball club is different at every facility.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for instance, the Cardinals. The Cardinals won't let you go to the window and get a Cardinal T-shirt underneath your pads. Oh, they can give it to you, but they're going to charge you $40 for the shirt. You understand the words that just came out of my mouth?
Yeah, charge an Arizona Cardinal for a shirt that represents your team.
Right. Well, at the time, the undergarment shirts didn't have Cardinals anything on any. They would, if they have something on there, they would write your number on your shirt at your neck in a really bad spot where you can't wear it ever in public or anything because they put it and they write it so ugly.
Yeah.
You'd never wear it in public. It's bad. Anyway, $40 for a shirt that is ugly. I can never wear it out anywhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, lunch. They had honey bears come and give us some really bad lunches, and they charge us $40 for that.
There's a nickel and diamond on everything.
So the Cardinals traded me, and I just signed a huge deal with Nike, and Nike says, before you left, did you get your shoes? I said, what do you mean my shoes? I'm waiting for you guys to send them. He says, we sent it to you to Phoenix. Did you get them before you left? I said, they weren't here at the time. They probably arrived right when I was getting on the plane going to New Orleans. He said, oh, no. So he says, can you call and get them? I said, I can't, but you gotta, because they're not giving me my shoes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to do it. And sure enough, that became a long battle for the entire season of me, because they never gave up my shoes. They had already dismissed my shoes out to other guys. So even right now today, they have not given me my shoes back, bro. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Anyway.
So Dallas was different than this, or was it similar?
Dallas was different. The Saints was different. Everybody's different than. Because I don't know if everybody knows this. My son recently resigned from playing pro football, and he played with. He drafted by the Giants, played in Detroit, played here with the Cardinals. And then he retired as a Baltimore Raven.
Wow.
What their last team you played for that's who you retired with. Anyway, he retired as a Raven, and he's done. He played 9 years. At every stop, every place was different, and no more profound was it different as when he was here. Because at every one of his other stops, he can go to the window and get a shirt and would not be charged for it. He could have breakfast, lunch, and dinner served at the facilities, no charge of any of that for any of the players or the staff, period. But the Cardinals, you will see it deducted on your check stub. You understand the words that just came out of my mouth?
Wow.
So
is this why we can't win a Super Bowl? Is this our karma because our GMs can't spend some money?
I don't. Yeah, I don't have that. I don't have that ideology. That's why. But there's some simple, small things in life that should change. And Michael was behaving just the way his dad did. Because his dad was there when I was there, and his son has done nothing any different than his dad was doing.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. So, but back to Dallas, you played there. It was different. Were they like the meals and all that kind of stuff? Do they comp those in Dallas? Or
every stop I made, everything was. T-shirts. So I go to the window and just boxes of T-shirts at my locker. It's shorts, T-shirts, hats. It's not a problem. What else you need?
That's awesome.
Not a problem. With the Cardinals, it's deducted from your check.
That's wild. That is cheap at another level.
Understand the words that just came out of my mouth. Unbelievable.
Wow. So but what was it like then playing with? I mean, some of the guys now that are in the Hall of Fame, the Troy Aikmans of the world, Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smiths. I mean, what was it like coming onto a team like that they had heat? I mean, they had just won 2 Super Bowls. Obviously, there was a lot of turmoil, and you can watch the series. But how did you feel about coming into that situation? Or was it just work?
You know, everybody there received me very well. They knew I came from some playoffs teams in New Orleans. Although we never won a playoff game because of prime time. Dion would kept us out of making advances in the playoffs because he was in our division with Atlanta. Anyway, there was respect in the huddle. There was a lot of respect and love in the huddle, and they called me an OG because mostly everybody in the huddle was young G's.
Yeah.
So, other than Michael, me and Michael were probably the 2 older G's in the huddle, but the rest of them was young G's, and I would just, command and demand respect in the huddle, but at the same time, everybody better know their stuff or get your 6 out of here. And the reason being is because a lot of these guys in the huddle, they want things ran in perfection. So I'm in the huddle full of Hall of Fame guys, and I acknowledge and recognize that, and I don't have a problem with that. So I expect the same in return, and then at the same time, you know, we going like our hair's on fire. Let's go. Let's go get it done. And I said, geez, you know, so a lot of guys that meet me for the first time in a huddle in a work environment, they find out very fast that, you know, I practice and do things at game speed. So the teammates around me learned to do it that way to help facilitate your running back to get a good feel of how and when to explode through the hole to get the necessary yards that we need. Once we came to this agreement in the huddle, without any coaches or anybody around, Emmitt loved seeing that live action and to get the timing of when the opening of the holes were. And then when I saw Emmitt nearing his retirement age here with the Cardinals, I saw what he saw as far as his vision of trying to hit the hole, but his elderly legs would not let him explode through that hole like he wanted to. But I saw what he saw, because the guy has great vision, and he just didn't have the youthful legs to get that burst through the hole like he once did when he was a younger cat. And so by the time the Cardinals got him, the spring has sprung, but they paid him handsomely, and he bought a ton of property over there off in that Levine area, west of 51st Avenue, about 3 to 4 miles out. He bought a lot of property and made a ton of freaking money off of those properties.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cardinals are known for
But
getting
he had
people.
to be patient for that money.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Well, land.
He had to sit there
general.
and wait for that land to develop to where he had to be patient. But he's huge.
Yeah. No, it's Well, no, the Cardinals are known for getting great players that are at their last couple of years. So, no, this was fun, man. I really appreciate you coming on today. You know, and telling story. We could probably go for hours. I have so many more questions, but no, man, I appreciate it. So, is there anything people should know that you're involved in, organizations, things like that they could help support?
Well, myself and the NFLPA, we're always out in the field working with kids, and we're always talking about teach one, reach one, and we always want our guys to go back out in the community and lift up a kid, man, that probably needs to be lifted up and to give back to our community and help out some kids in a loving way, by giving your time. And it's not always necessary money. It's sometimes it just takes a little. You spend a little time with a kid that was like me or looked like me or was a fatherless kid that needed some guidance or the good Lord in your life to get you through some tough times, man, and not always looking to the Lord through some tough times, but through the good times too, giving thanks, man.
Absolutely.
Good, all glory
Thanks
to
in all things.
glory to God, bro. So that's pretty much it, man. I got my son that has a couple of books out that I just saw the title of them, and I'm just drawing a blank right now.
They can find him on Amazon probably, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
his name, is he a junior?
Devon Kennard.
Devon Kennard. So
Yes.
check it out, Devon Kennard, Amazon. So a couple books.
Amazon.com. Yeah.
Awesome. Man, that's great. Well, again, man, thank you so much for spending the time with me on a Saturday.
Yeah.
I mean, this was really good. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Yeah, we got a lot more to cover, man.
Yeah, absolutely. we'll plan on it. So, well, guys, I know you probably enjoyed this a lot. Share it out with a friend. Share it out with someone that's a football fan. You probably know who this guy is, so share it out, and we'll see you next time.
Go Wolfpack.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we got